man in America. You know you don't want to be nowhere where cops are. Listen, I've listened to you. You listen to me. You know you don't want to be nowhere where cops are. Because I know I don't. And I'm a middle-aged, middle-class black woman. I don't want to be around where the cops are because I don't know if I'm going to walk away alive or not. You're a black man in America. Representations. I don't believe that this is a political matter. This is an issue about criminal justice. I believe a courtroom is the proper place to make issues about criminal justice. This is not political speech. It's not supporting a particular candidate, and it's not political speech. I don't believe that the DAs have been made to take off DA buttons. I don't believe that marshals have been made to stop wearing the black bands when there's been a death.
Wear it in the hallways, wear it in front of the courthouse, demonstrate, protest, use your voice, but that's not what's supposed to occur in a courtroom. When we're not here on a petition about a movement or a protest or anything like that, we're here to dispense justice on a criminal calendar of cases.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. If you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
They say, Rick, sir, calm down, sir. We know how you feel about these judges, especially the activist judges. Oh. The enemy of the people, the threat to society, the threat to public safety, the threat to America. These judges. Hey, some of the worst, you know. Some of the worst. And not in this one, this lady here, oh boy, we got a rap sheet on her. But I want to send a huge shout out to Miss Julie. Shout out to Julie for sending over an amazing video for me to check out on the channel today. And before we continue, I just want to tell you guys, I hope y'all are smiling, that you are blessed, well, and healthy, that you're having an amazing week, that June is going well, that, you know, 2025 is going well. As you can see right now, we're living in crazy times, dark times. We do not know what to expect next. You know, this current administration is on fire. You know, President Trump is just outworked. Prayers for, you know, the president, this administration, working hard and trying as much as he can for, you know, the American people. And you know, we're against all these activists, you know, the BLM scammers, race beta, race hustlers, the left, the Democrats. You know, it's just getting worse with these people, man. You know, all out here screaming, protesting, hollering, you know, attacking officers. I mean, it's just ridiculous what we're seeing, man. You know, we want to send our prayers. Huge shout out to our law enforcement, our first responders, you know, our troops, our military, man. It's just, it is crazy what we're seeing. What we're seeing in Los Angeles right now, over the ICE raids. Again, the people spoke loud and clear. A mandate, every single swing state, popular vote. The people spoke loud and clear. The man told you what he was going to do. There shouldn't be any surprises. He told you what he was going to do on day one. He campaigned on it, said it millions and millions of times. But anyways, let's get into what we're getting into today's show, man. Again, we're praying for America, praying for peace, common sense, a better way of life for everybody. Nobody, I don't care what your skin color is, what you look like, where you come from, for everybody, but a better way of life, man. But we got this BLM socialist approved judge, Erica Belaloo, removed from all criminal cases, caught allegedly sleeping with a client, has faced multiple allegations of misconduct, abuse of power. She was publicly censored and required to take a course of judicial and social ethics following a serious controversial social media post. and derogatory comments about police. You know, these are one of those ones that say defund the police, defund the police. You know, but these posts included a photo of her at a hot tub with public defenders, comments expressing a negative view of police. Additionally, she was accused of violating Nevada's Code of Judicial Conduct for inappropriate social media posts and statements made during a sentencing hearing. Recent case, public defender sought out the disqualification of Judge Belaloo from all of her cases, arguing she basically accused the lawyer of having a sexual relationship with a client, which amounted to sexual harassment. This allegations against Judge Belaloo also continued to make rulings in case where a motion to rescue her was pending. She was found to be in violation of the law. She accused them. Further investigations and charges are coming. But I want to check out this video that Julie sent over, and it's coming from Actual Justice Warrior. A huge shout out to Actual Justice Warrior. Let's jump into this.
I don't have any representations. I don't believe that this is a... Your Honor, I don't have any representations. I don't believe that this is a political matter. This is an issue about criminal justice. I believe the courtroom is the proper place to make issues about criminal justice. This is not political speech. It's not supporting a particular candidate, and it's not political speech. I don't believe that the DAs have been made to take off DA buttons. I don't believe that marshals have been made to stop wearing the black bands when there's been a death.
Wear it in the hallways, wear it in front of the courthouse, demonstrate, protest, use your voice, but that's not what's supposed to occur in a courtroom. When we're not here on a petition about a movement or a protest or anything like that. We're here to dispense justice on a criminal calendar of cases.
So what you just witnessed right there was a video of then public defender Erica Belaloo getting into it with the judge who asked her to remove the obviously political Black Lives Matter pin from her lapel during the course of a trial, and her incoherent, ridiculous, babbling nonsense about how, oh, this is not a political message, this is not a political organization, and for whatever reason, Mr. White Man Judge, I think you're racially biased against me because you allow the prosecutors to wear pins on their suits that actually indicate they work for the prosecutor's office, so I just happen to think that that is completely unfair and ridiculous and over the top and possibly evil, white, and racist. Now, of course, this is obviously a ridiculous stunt by this particular judge. Needless to say, eventually she was, in fact, compelled successfully by the judge to remove this stupid-ass pin. But unfortunately, in the era of Black Lives Matter's resurgence post-2020, this woman was elected to...
Y'all know how we feel about the BLM scam. Hey, y'all know how I feel about it. The BLM scam, these race baiters, these race hustlers, you know, a complete disgrace. And in the black community. Not all black people, but the black community. A disgrace. We hate accountability. We hate being in the wrong. You know, I believe it's the KKK of today's time. Where was y'all at BLM when the little black girl, the kids were killed? Where was y'all at? Where the mom was killed by the illegal criminal gang members? Where they robbed her? Took everything she had and killed her in cold blood. What was y'all at when they worked the little black girl? What was y'all at? BLM. But a black kid go out and kills a white person, kills a white kid at the track meet. Everybody's hollering and screaming and donating $500,000. But when that over there took place, when this happened, where was y'all at, BLM? Let's see that financial report. Complete scam. See what they went out and did with the money. Complete scam. Disgrace. Everybody know about the BLM scam, so we don't got to keep talking about it. Let's move on. But every time I hear about it, I get pissed off. And this is why you see so many black people are calling out BLM. There is a thing called black fatigue. And not even just black fatigue, it's all kind of fatigues. Liberal fatigue, Democrat fatigue. It's all kind of fatigues out there. People are sick of all this woke crap, woke fatigue, all this stay woke crap. Because everything woke has turned to dog.
Judgeship. She moved from the public defender's office with this grandstanding nonsense to the bench, and recently, because of a scandal, because of her biases, which are ironic because she would accuse each and every person who was not a woke social justice psychopath like herself of being biased, she has been removed from all criminal trials because she has been wildly inappropriate in her role at her position as a judge, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The Black Lives Matter Democratic Socialist judge that was basically tossed out like the garbage that she is based on the fact that she can't control her behavior, and she decided to go after a white public defender for being white, I guess. Now, we're going to get into this. We're going to break this down, but before we do,
is circular repeat offender. The I-team has learned the offender, 17 years old, and has a lengthy criminal history, including 8 previous counts for armed robbery. Now, he was already on probation, but was then charged as an adult.
I hope you were listening to me. I hope this means something to you. I hope you see how hard it is for me to do this to somebody as young as you, and I hope you think about that every single day, because I will probably think about this every single day for the rest of my life.
So as if the Black Lives Matter pin incident in 2016 wasn't a big enough red flag, what you just witnessed right there was video of a judge who had to sentence a violent repeat offender to a lengthy prison term because he already had about 8 prior felony armed robbery convictions to his name. And of course, the judge decided to express sympathy for the perpetrator rather than the victim. And of course, this was an embarrassing notion. This video ended up going viral in January of 2021, so right after she was sworn into office. And again, this should set the stage for you guys out there in the audience for what kind of judge this person would end up becoming. And
it's nothing new. We know. What was that last video we did with the judge? They did what? Oh. Okay, they've stolen out the store. That's not too bad. Oh, they've assaulted. With a minor. Oh, they've aggravated assault. Oh, they have theft of a vehicle. Another theft. He shot at his girlfriend. He shot at the neighbor. Oh, that's not too bad. What kind of... Oh, he only shot 4 times. Long as he didn't shoot 5 or 6 or 10 times, it wasn't too bad. He only shot the gun 4 times. He only beat her up for just a little bit. Oh, let him go back out into the community. Let him free. Let him go. Let him out. You know. Until somebody's killed, and we seen that with that last judge. They let the person go like what 2 or 3 times, and then they finally like went out and like killed somebody. It's a disgrace with these people, man. Same with the Democrats and the left on when it comes to illegal gang member criminals. And we've seen the invasion that's taking place in America. Only if y'all cared this much about actual Americans. If you just had a little bit of common sense. But that's why the people voted the way they did this year. This is why the people love President Trump so much. And how he's reformed the party for common sense policy. Common sense things. Common sense. Not in our girls' bathrooms. Common sense things. Not playing in women playing in men's sports. Common sense things. But these are their heroes. The thugs, the gang members, the drug, the murderers, the rapers. These are their heroes. These are who they fight so hard for. People that are destroying the communities. This is what they fight so hard for. Kilmar Bragar Garcia, the Maryland father. He's a father. We don't care if he abused his wife. We don't care if he got caught smuggling, if he caught trafficking or doing this or that. He's a father. We don't care if he's an MS-13 gang member. He is a father. That's what Democrats say. A disgrace, man.
She has been racked with controversies and scandal ever since she took office, but I think it is hilarious for us to point out right now that at the time that she was elected, all these left-wing rags, these Democratic socialists, were celebrating her election, and one of the articles celebrating her victory actually came from the Jacobin, which is a Ben Burgess publication, and even though, by the way, I will say that Ben Burgess, who I've met in person a couple of times, I actually find to be a decent person in person, the fact is, his outlet is absolutely crazy, and his ideology is probably all the way off a cliff in terms of left-wing nonsense. So let's get into this article about celebrating her victory, and then we'll tell you how exactly this ended up churning out. Headline: A Democratic socialist will soon be sworn in as a judge in Las Vegas. Public defender and racial justice organizer Erica Belaloo won a Las Vegas judgeship with the backing of the Democratic Socialists of America. Next month, she'll take the bench with the aim of upending the criminal justice status quo. The Democratic Socialists of America, DSA, notched several high-profile wins at the ballot box this past November, but not all of those wins made national headlines. One such victory, the election of Las Vegas, DSA endorsed Erica Belaloo to the District Court of Clark County, Nevada. Belaloo is a career public defender, a DSA member, and a longtime activist with groups like Planned Parenthood and the National Lawyers Guild. Come next month, she will sit on the bench of the Clark County 8th Judicial District Court, the court system responsible for more than 2 million residents of the Las Vegas metro area. Belaloo was one of 7 public defenders who ran for judgeships in Clark County this cycle in an effort to, quote, balance the bench from its traditional domination by prosecutors. All 7 were victorious. When she takes the bench in January, Belaloo says she is planning to offer a more humane version of criminal justice than has been the norm in Clark County. The difference between her outlook as a 15-year veteran of the Public Defender's Office and the traditional outlook of Clark County's judges is dramatic, she says. Quote, I understand that these are people, not just defendants. Most of the people who have gotten on the bench are prosecutors, and they don't think that our clients are human beings, she said.
You're a black man in America. You know you don't want to be nowhere where cops are.
Clark County Judge Erica Belaloo in court in 2022 making comments that prompted the union representing Metro police officers to call for Belaloo's resignation and an ethics investigation.
Listen to me.
You're a black man in America.
You don't want to be nowhere where cops are. Because I know I don't. And I'm a middle-aged, middle-class black woman. I don't want to be around where the cops are because I don't know if I'm going to walk away alive or not.
But that's just one of 2 incidents for which Judge Belaloo faces new charges, which Commissioner said
walk this judge out in handcuffs, man. Should be impeached, remove, get this judge, strip this judge out of everything, revoke this judge, man. Shouldn't I'm telling you, there's a lot of them that shouldn't even be nowhere near, and nowhere near a robe, nowhere near any kind of just nothing. Our justice system in this country is a disgrace. It's broke, man. You know. And people like this are just a complete disgrace. You're a black man in America. I don't want to be caught nowhere near because I'm black. I don't want to be caught nowhere near the police. They play the same. They run off the same playbook, you know. All you got to do is be respect authority. Do the right thing. I promise you, you'll be fine, just fine. Do the right thing. Respect authority. We don't want to respect authority. We could be going down the freeway, like I always say, down the freeway, drunk as hell. Both 2, 3 bottles in the passenger seat. Drunk. 100 miles per hour. Damn near kill somebody. Some do. And then we get pulled over by the police. They say, hey, have you been drinking tonight? What's wrong? And then we want to argue. We want to fight. We want to cuss. I ain't did nothing wrong. I ain't did nothing wrong. Ma'am, I smell, I can smell alcohol. Ma'am, look at your eyes. And it looked like you ran over something on the curb. And what's that in the passenger seat? Step out the vehicle, ma'am. No, I ain't did nothing wrong. No. When we go to the building, you see the footages. It's that, they have you're trespassing. You're not supposed to be here. Can you please leave? We will not arrest you. We will not do anything to you. We will not tase you. We'll let you go on about your day. Enjoy the rest of your life. But you are not supposed to be here. Can you please leave? That's all that we're asking. And what they want to do, y'all. Yeah. And then I got to go on the internet and see black people. I got to read the title that says black people are incapable of leaving when told so, knowing they're in the wrong. Go, y'all type it up. Type it up. I didn't drop my glasses on the floor. Y'all type it up. Type in incapable. Go to Twitter, go to Facebook, type in, you can even type in black incapable, black people incapable. It comes right up. It's just videos of police footages. It's sad. I hate to admit it and tell you guys, but y'all, I've showed it on previous videos. Just type it in. And I hate making this about skin color, man. I really do. But they make our people look bad, man. They make our communities look bad. Respect authority. Do the right thing. That's all. We avoid a lot of these situations we've seen take place. We avoid a lot of things. And there's some souls that will still be alive to this day. All we have to do is respect authority and comply, be nice, be respectful. We want to be rude. We want to argue. We want to fight. Knowing that we're in the wrong is where it kills me. Knowing that we're in the wrong. There is some times where things can be de-escalated. Things, the officer's in the wrong. There is a bad officer. There are bad apples. There are bad people. There are still racist people out there. People that hate one another. Some people that shouldn't have a badge or a gun at all. There are some out there, and I admit that. It still exists. But most of the time, if you do the right thing, if you're respectful, if you're nice, you're let off, you're scot-free, you get a warning, you go on about your day. But there's people that be completely in the wrong, knowing they're in the wrong. You want to fight back and argue, have no insurance, don't have no driver's license, nothing. And still want to be the big bad tough guy. That's what kills me, But anyway, let's continue.
Violated the, quote, impartiality of the judiciary. That other comment was for, quote, chastising a prosecutor in 2021 for saying a man being sentenced for fleeing from police with a firearm had no reason to run. She told them, quote, there are absolute reasons to run from the police.
Now that fawning article from the Jacobin goes on to say what's even more remarkable about her victory is that she didn't take any political donations in order to run her campaign, and obviously this is alluding to the idea that she will be impartial, uncorruptible, and will just do a stellar, excellent job on criminal justice issues from the bench, because again, they're balancing it from these gosh darn public defenders that don't see the defendants as even human beings. It's absolutely disgusting and shameful. And now we're going to get into the fact that she basically inverted on everything that she promised and proved to be one of the more disgusting, biased judges that you could possibly have serving in this role in Clark County for nearly 4 years. Now, we just got to get get into the story because it's this hilarious.
A judge is now removed from criminal cases. This in the wake of allegations of misconduct on the bench. Thanks for staying with us here at 6:30. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm Brian Loftus. The most recent allegations from a public defender who says the judge accused her in court of having sex with her client.
No, you did not just mishear that right there. This judge, this woke woman with the Black Lives Matter pin stunt back from 2016, is actually in a ton of trouble because she has gotten into a dispute with a public defender at the very office that she used to work for, calling her out for allegedly sleeping with one of her clients, among a whole host of other biased incidents against this woman, because it just goes to show you a strong, independent, Black Lives Matter supporting woman is no match for a regular, ordinary white lady, because they just seem to get under their skin like nobody else's business. So all of this inappropriate conduct, all of this inappropriate behavior was not even directed at a prosecutor, it was directed at a public defender, and needless to say, the clients that of course Erica sees as human beings were the ones who suffered the brunt of this multiple different times.
We broke the story of a public defender whose 90-page affidavit detailed a strained professional relationship, so she asked the judge, Erica Blue, be removed from the case. Now, news the court has removed her from all criminal cases. Before we learned that news, I went to the case Belaloo was removed from, and from which those allegations stemmed, and here's what happened.
Anna Stone on behalf of Mr. Garner.
Attorney Anna Stone from the Clark County Public Defender's Office in court Thursday with her client Jermaine Garner.
I don't necessarily disagree with you, Ms. Stone.
In front of Judge Eric Johnson.
So why we had this confusion.
Confusion taking center stage, with Johnson taking over for fellow District Court Judge Erica Belaloo, who Stone from the Public Defender's Office argued should be removed from Garner's case, saying in a 90-page court filing earlier this month, Belaloo, quote, has a demonstrated deep-seated antagonism towards me that makes fair judgment impossible. And she used examples from several cases, including that she repeatedly scolded Stone in open court, saying things like, I want you to do your job, counsel. That's why you get paid the big bucks. Ultimately, Stone saying Belaloo crossed a line she couldn't walk back. That Belaloo, after court one morning from the bench, quote, accused me of my client, alleging I was having a sexual relationship with the defendant. That defendant was Deshaun Cross, who ultimately served 40 days on a guilty plea for an attempted residential burglary felony.
So as you just heard right there, this public defender ended up submitting a 90-page affidavit alleging all manner of misconduct and bias against her, including the judge accusing her with no basis in reality of sleeping with one of her clients, who, by the way, somehow managed to get a 40-day plea deal, which is disgusting and controversial on its own, for a felony residential burglary. But again, that is not the subject matter that we're discussing today, even though I do think that that result is disgusting on its own. It's the fact that the judge has decided to aim all of her ire at this particular woman at the public defender's office, to the point where she has lost all grasp and chain to reality and is just targeting this woman. And of course, in certain other cases, she's decided to go after her clients in order to get retribution against her. I will also add that public defenders don't typically make the big bucks, and as somebody who used to work in the public defender's office, you would think Erica Belaloo would know this, but of course she doesn't. She's an absolute idiot in every possible way, and this is fully demonstrated later on when she decides to seek revenge against this public defender in the most crazy way, especially considering that this is a Black Lives Matter judge who talked about how her office and her administration sees defendants as human beings, unlike those filthy, dirty, disgusting prosecutors turned judges who just don't get that about those clients at the public defender's office.
It would be appropriate to give him another opportunity with additional guardrails.
The guardrails Stone asked for in Thursday's case were for Garner, before he's sentenced for stealing a car. Stone says Belaloo kept Garner in jail for a long time for no reason, not willing to discuss it, not willing to change her mind, and not willing to let Garner go anywhere.
Something just happened.
Something just happened in Belaloo's courtroom between the judge and the lawyer, Garner's wife told the 8 News Now investigators after court in a new courtroom in front of a new judge Thursday, where her husband's situation finally got some resolution.
I don't know what's going on with Judge Blue and the public defender, but my husband got caught in the middle.
So you guys know by now, if you're frequent viewers of this channel, that I do not extend a lot of sympathy to the criminal. And when it comes to car thieves, as somebody who personally had my own vehicle stolen, by the way, no arrests have been made in that particular case, I know how it can be so devastating for somebody on a personal level. And I think the absolute worst of these individuals, and I am not against them being sentenced to lengthy periods of time for committing such a crime. That being being said, that's my position, and I've made that clear to everybody out there in the audience, but Judge Erica Belaloo is a Black Lives Matter activist who, remember, I showed you in January of her first year in office, basically the first week after she was sworn in, was crying over an 8-time convicted felony burglar, an armed robber, somebody who was a danger to society, because at that point in time, she had to give him a reasonable sentence. And she decided in this particular case, even though she's shown overwhelming sympathy for the criminal throughout her entire career, she ran on the fact that she thinks defendants are human, that she would just hold this guy indefinitely, delay consistently without providing an explanation, just because she hated the white woman who was the public defender for this individual. Just because she couldn't stand her, she decided to hold this man indefinitely. That is a thing that happened with this Black Lives Matter judge. And that's the crazy thing about these BLM activists. They talk about all this bias and how white people are inherently biased against blacks and all these minorities and whatnot, and how, oh, that infects every aspect of their judgment because of their evil white racism, when in reality, they are just projecting their own hatred and their own vitriol onto other people. Because as soon as this woman was in a position of power, what did she do? What did she do with that power? She ended up abusing it, dehumanizing a defendant in order to do so, and spreading salacious, ridiculous rumors against a white woman who worked at the public defender's office because she couldn't stand her for whatever personal reason. She let her biases overwhelm absolutely everything, and the people who suffered the consequences, of course, were the clients of this public defender that supposedly the prosecutors turned judges just have no sympathy for because they don't view them as human. And in addition to that, the whole sexual allegations that she ended up throwing out, or as the super mayor would call them, allegations.
False allegations and not facts.
Those are also projection, because this very judge recently had a controversy where she was photographed in a hot tub in a very questionable situation. And of course, that is the salacious rumors that she didn't like being spread about her.
Controversial district court judge will keep her seat but must take a course on judicial and social ethics. Judge Erica Belaloo admitted she violated several ethics rules. Some of the charges centered around social media posts, one where Belaloo appeared to state that cases where defendants are not in custody should be tossed out, and another where she posed with 2 lawyers from the Clark County Public Defender's Office in a hot tub. The district attorney's office also trying to get her removed from criminal cases it prosecutes. She will also get a public censure.
But instead of, actually dealing with the consequences of her own behavior, she ends up throwing that on to this public defender in this particular circumstance. And of course, this is why she has been deemed too incompetent, too ridiculous, too anti-white in order to hear any criminal cases in Clark County. So great job, Democratic Socialists of America. You keep teeing them up. I'll keep knocking them down, because the people that are on your roster are all clowns through and through, and Erica Belaloo appears to be a perfect example of that. Now, of course, I'm going to leave this off to you guys out there in the audience. What do you think of this particular case? What do you think of this woman indefinitely holding a black man in jail in order to get revenge against a white public defender, despite being an advocate for Black Lives Matter? All your thoughts down in the comments